Congratulations for
Yes,
that. And
thank you.
just just to get to this level, Somdatta, was this something that you envisioned?
Yeah, I think the award was never, a possible outcome. We just went with the flow. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now.
Welcome, Supermoms, to Mom's Talk. I am Avni, and we have with us today a supermom who is an interdisciplinary artist. She is a choreographer, a singer, and an educator. Welcoming Somdatta. Lovely to have you.
Avni, thank you so much. It's lovely to be here as well and share experiences with everybody. Very happy to be here today.
I actually want to begin with congratulating you for your latest music video, We Rise, which has been chosen to be the best music video in Cannes World Film Festival. Congratulations for
Yes,
that. And
thank you.
just just to get to this level, Somnata, was this something that you envisioned?
Yeah, I think the award was never, a possible outcome. We just went with the flow. But I think I've had so many major career shifts in my life. But this one, where I used to be a banker, come artist, and then with momhood, I decided to become an artist full time. And
Mhm,
although it was not so much related to my bread and butter, and it had to do more with the vision I was trying to go through, getting into mental health counseling, learning more about body based trauma and how movement can help with it, actually gave me a whole new sphere of perspective with art itself. So, what happened with V Rise, and I'm just explaining why it came through,
mhm,
is I really felt passionate about the subject and the theme because I had a friend over, I had invited her over to try out Bharatanatyam, which is my
mhm,
classical music dance of focus, which I'm trained in. And I wanted to see how a ballet dancer kind of embodies Bharatanatyam. Of course, she was
mhm,
very open minded, and I
mhm,
thought
mhm,
she was this strong woman, a friend I could rely on, things like that, which was the tip of the iceberg. But as and when I kind of listened to her experiences, once you kind of tear up when you listen to somebody's experiences, that's for me, I just need that inspiration to kind of catch on to for good
mhm,
work to happen. So because I delve with both music and dance, I try to combine my musical experiences and movement experiences into this project. So that's how it happened. Of course, I was
mhm,
working with women with trauma and marginalization and oppression and all of that. So this project really is very close to my heart. um,
mhm,
Never had I kind of envisioned an outcome like a Cannes festival being recognized there, or even in India for so many festivals. Recently, we won the Global Music Award, which is probably one of
mhm,
the most soundest awards of all of them, which we are very thankful for. And I'm happy that a
mhm,
theme like this, the art was able to communicate experiences, human experiences, grief of loss of dignity, resilience,
mhm,
all of that into one art form. And that's what the goal was. Getting her story out in a very creative format. And I think I made it happen just not because of me, but with a help of a lot of other people on this project.
mhm,
Rebecca Brodowski, who's taught me modern dance. So she
mhm.
jumped into the project. So she helped me out. And there was Darcy, it's pretty autobiographical, the whole. story. And then I was dealing with Sanskrit,
Mhm.
original Sanskrit lyrics, which I had never tried. Bengali, of course, I sing in Bengali, but
Mhm.
that was so difficult. But I had, Neha Krishna Kumar. She was so wonderful. She helped me with the original lyrics, the meanings, and the empowering part of the story and all of that. So it all came together wonderfully with, teamwork.
That's amazing and such a neat idea. What a use of this platform, Somdatta, because you're an artist and kind of transferring that kind of emotions through this medium of dance. It's a brilliant idea, and I think it's so effective and so powerful when you talk about relating to the audiences. So kudos to you for doing that and your entire team to make it all happen. What
Yeah.
kind of dance form? So you said you are trained in Bharatnatyam, and then your other friend is a trained ballet dancer and modern dance. So is it a combination of all these dance forms that you combine together and then emote the expressions and put this act, bring this act on? How does it really happen? How do you actually make it happen on the stage?
Yeah, so I would really let you, how my experiences have been is 2019, I turned into dancing, learning dancing again, although I had like 13 years of dance experience, but I had left it for a while. Not that I was very
Mhm.
happy being when I did that. So when I refound dance and when I started dancing again, it was a whole new me. And that's why I'm a big endorser of movement in dance. So, how my
Mhm.
perception changed it, I used to judge dancers before, I'm being very honest, on technique
Mhm.
or anything like that. Um, my perception completely changed. Dance was an expression after I started learning modern dance, which is very much based on ballet as well. It is more like an anti ballet movement, modern dance, and it
Mhm.
kind of, the dancer expresses herself through her breath, and
Mhm.
how she feels at that moment of time and how that movement really translates. It's more like an integration of mind and body. So when we do Bharatanatyam, and I had learned Bharatanatyam, it was all about technique and geometry and all of that.
Mhm.
Although I had not explored the other part of Bharatanatyam, which I've started exploring now, which has changed me as an artist. So now, for me, perception of dance has had completely changed after this. So
Mhm.
learning modern dance, which is human expression, and how you breathe out and it completely changes your posture, and how you can express all kinds of emotions, whether it is sadness, excitement, happiness, empathy, grief, loss, all the entire bandwidth of emotions. So I learned that it was no more about technique, and
Mhm.
anybody can dance, and I really stick by it. When I see a person dancing now, even in the clinical space sometimes, or even outside, it is owned by that person. That movement is his or her or their own movement at that point of time of what they're feeling. So it
Mhm.
completely transcends technique altogether. So I think modern dance changed that perspective for me,
Mhm.
especially how to express grief and loss, which we don't get to most of the time, right? I
True.
am an Asian,
There are
and
different
Asian,
forms of dance, and you can
yeah,
actually express different forms, but
yes,
expressing
yes,
something deep and kind of dark it's also a different art.
right. So bang on, Avni. So that's what I was really trying to get to through all of this explanation is, expressing or embracing our darker moments in life is which we don't
Mhm.
like to get it. It's a very uncomfortable space, so we don't
Mhm.
go there.
Mhm.
So I
But it's
learned
a very
to,
good thing, you're trying to
yeah,
release those emotions
there you go.
through
Yeah,
dance
yeah,
because there are certain things that you cannot put into words and you
yeah,
cannot even share it with others. So this is a platform which is kind of it's kind of therapeutic, right? So you dancing and you're
yeah.
just going through those emotions in your mind and without speaking, without saying anything, you're actually just letting it go. You're just releasing all those negative emotions out of your body. What a beautiful idea, Somdatta. This is great. Now I wanted to ask you one more thing. You
Avni,
said
I want to compliment you. You put it very Fully there. You kind of summarized it. It's beautiful how you put it. It's very non-verbal in expression. So something, say, if, for example, sadness, somebody cannot express and they're silent, I think
Mhm.
dance really helps there. So bang on there. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's you who's actually putting those thoughts in my mind right now through your performance, through this art. So when you dance, Somdatta, you, as you said, it's those are the feelings, the emotions that are kind of getting inside of your body, and then your body is moving the way it is. How do you really find your way into these emotions while you're performing? How do you do that?
Imagine a time of me when, you've gone through the lowest points of your life. What did you do then? How did you feel? Or what is the quickest coping skill you used at that point of time to express resilience or fight or battle through this situation or trudge through this situation? Your body behaves in very different ways immediately, but I think that's what it is. Prompts, imagination, music, these are the things that kind of facilitate movement
Mhm.
altogether.
But then, if somebody has gone through those situations, those difficult situations of life, it's easier for them to kind of connect to that moment when they were at their lowest level, and then
Yeah.
the things. What I'm trying to say is that they can feel, they can sense it, the kind of trauma that they had at that period of time, and then perform. You haven't experienced that, but yet you have to give those expressions. You have to feel
Yeah.
like a victim in order for you to perform so well. How
Yeah.
do you then do that?
That's a fantastic question. So I think what happens is compassion, empathy is the key point here. So if my friend feels something at that point of time, she's relating something to me. Either I
Mhm,
connect with her or I don't connect with her. So when I connect with her, the basic point is I'm trying to be in her shoes. I'm trying to understand what she's been through. What would I have done if I had to go through that situation? So
mhm,
I think the first thing is empathy more than sympathy is at that point of time is how you're like attuning to that attunement is needed. I
mhm,
need to really understand what that person is going through, or even laud her for her strength and
mhm,
understand that pain. The connection has to be there.
mhm,
Without
mhm,
that connection, I've felt so when I said I teared up when I listened to her story, I knew I
mhm,
connected. But if the story didn't affect me at all, I was left stoned, or I was not very impressed, or I it did not kind of touch me or move me. There is no way I can move.
mhm,
So I think that human connection is definitely needed. Like when we hear, and I think people are understanding communal support these days, right? Not
mhm,
everybody has to go through the same grief and pain to understand the other person's grief and pain. Like my
mhm,
grief and pain are very different. So yes, I've not been through domestic violence clearly, but I have been through other traumas, like maybe, lost a very close one in my life, or my father, or, something like that. So you do connect there. There's that common element that you find that, okay, I've suffered through a loss of a parent. This person has gone through loss of dignity. So yes, the loss connects both of them. And I hope I answered your question there.
You answered
The,
it very well. This
that
is
strong
something that,
connection.
I
Yeah.
was, yeah, exactly. And how you said it, you don't really have to go through the same kind of trauma, but uh,
Yeah.
there's always something or the other that we
Yeah.
have faced in life,
Yeah.
whether it's in studies or it's in losing a
Yeah.
family member, as you
Yeah.
said, from being a banker, being in the corporate world, to being an artist and kind of devoting your time and your art and um, your soul into something to put this message across to the community. How did that journey happen from a banker to an artist?
Yeah. I'm going to say this. It's been a long road for me in the sense I think I traveled up Maslow's hierarchy. I'm not going to say I'm a super rich woman now, but there are times when you need money. And I had banking
So
was a
you
quick
secured
one.
the money first before getting into
Yes.
something like that.
Yes, I
Very
knew
smart.
money. Well, we all do that. Money is important to all of us, whether we are spiritual or whatever it is. I mean, even to be spiritual, you actually need to have some money, I think. But
No,
just
but
to get to that space.
you're putting the wealth into something so beautiful, and helping others. So that
Yeah.
is a very important thing. You're putting it to a very good use.
Yeah, so I think there was a time when, I needed to earn money and I was ready to do a job that I sort of didn't like it to a great extent. I mean, I loved banking, I did well in banking, but there was a time when I've told myself I'm not growing.
Hmm.
So I that's exactly when I made the decision to kind of devote my time to artistry a little bit more than I was doing before because I was dabbling in two shoes and it was
Hmm.
not helping me go deeper into my art. So I had decided that day that life is going to be tough from here because the way I used to earn money is not going to be it's not going to be the same. Artists
Hmm.
unfortunately don't earn so much money here, and I'm a big advocate of that. Yes, art needs to be paid for whatever it
Hmm.
takes because in art, it's something ubiquitous and it needs to be protected and artists need to be protected. But I had told myself it's going to be tough from here on. It's not going to be like I'm going to go buy whatever I want. So I'm going to take it easy. And then I again started learning. I became a student pretty much in my late, I mean, well, middle adulthood, right? And it was
Hmm.
like, oh, how I used to dance with 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds ballet, and they're like flying across the floor. Um, so it was tough. I had kind of mentally prepared myself that this whole
Hmm.
shift is going to take time, one, and it's going to be tough, but
Hmm.
I cannot give up. So I think that mental setting helped me where I kind of took money out of the equation for a little while, for a long time,
Hmm.
actually. Yeah. It's
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
me right now, the goal is just focus on education. And I even thought of, okay, if I have to educate teenagers, I need to groom
Hmm.
myself. I cannot take that knowledge that I had learned so many years back and keep teaching kids. So a lot of the pedagogical classes that I took, really, my teachers really helped me through it. They were positive. And I think surrounding yourself with a positive support group is so important during these times, during these
Hmm.
major shifts and changes in life where you're like, okay, not growing here, money is
Hmm.
coming, sure, everything is fine, but needs to change. So I have tried to change, and I don't believe in one person sticking to just one thing. Okay, you've been a musician, you need to continue to be a musician all your life.
That's the artist speaking.
Yes, and your potential is infinite. So that's what I
Hmm.
believe. And of course, practicing it yourself is hard, but I'm still not there yet. It's you take life as an exploration and journey, which makes it more interesting rather than just
Hmm.
getting there to your goal very early.
Speaking to you, Somdatta, you've made us realize how important it is to continue learning too, whether it's art
Yeah,
or in
yeah,
any field really. You have to
yeah,
constantly keep yourself in the field, keep learning, gaining that knowledge, and
yeah.
you never know how will it help you in future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I give learning a lot of credit. Even like dealing with your egos, there's never a moment that you know everything. So, I mean, I tell my students too that
It's
whatever
also
it
a sense of
takes,
achievement, right? That you
yeah,
always, at every stage of life, if you keep learning,
yeah,
it just gives you a sense of achievement that, hey, you know what, I'm involved into something. This is something new that I've learned, which is a
yeah.
very good thing to keep your mind in a positive direction.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think openness is one more big aspect of it. Creativity for me comes through openness.
Mhm,
meeting different artists, learning their art and what they're trying to do opens up my mindscape too, right? In terms of
mhm,
imagination. So even some books have taught me some great things. So most of all, I think I credit human connections. For me,
mhm,
are very important in the whole idea of supporting each other in whatever you do. Never talk negatively to somebody because it can really destroy. And people have talked to me negatively before, and that's why I realized the essence of being positive. Um,
mhm,
so, and hence, I'm very careful with how I kind of give positive regard to everybody. Yeah, maybe not overdoing it, but positivity is so rare these days sometimes. And I think we need to really give it out to everybody possible.
absolutely.
And it can change lives.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
Somdatta, you're also a mother, and
Yes.
you've juggled this motherhood and the creativity and being an artist, being a woman, a corporate woman. You've balanced everything together. What would be your message for all the mothers?
Well, I think moms, especially in this country, Avni, you're not alien to our lifestyle here. We're juggling so many things. I think my friends in India are much more, you know, they don't have to juggle with so much as we do here. So, but
Hmm.
I would say, like, I still haven't found that efficient mix of, managing home, and I try to balance family and work, but self-care is so important, and self-care can come in many forms. It's just not grooming yourself physically, but I think from the
Hmm.
mental space, I mean, find something that is very close to you, which makes you feel happy. Today, dance and music make me feel happy. Certainly, there are so many other good artists out there doing their thing, but you have to find your own niche, your own space where you're comfortable. So do not leave your own, be your own cheerleader. So life is very tough. We know, we understand for each other, but you have to take care of yourself and sustain or retain that eminent you, that unique
Hmm.
you, and find that unique space for yourself, because that's your purpose, right? Taking care of yourself will also help you take care of others. So
Beautifully said.
yeah, yeah, I think finding the purpose will only come by kind of approaching what you really like doing in life. So never
Hmm.
disconnect yourself, however hard life gets. And I know it can be very hard here in this
Hmm.
country.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So we cannot let you go without you singing for us.
Sorry, I didn't see this coming, Avni.
Take your time, take your time.
All right. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. There we go.
That's beautiful. Wow, your voice has such a power.
Thank you. It was so lovely. I mean, I loved your questions.
It
So
was a pleasure talking to you, Somdatta, and the kind of work that you're doing through the medium of dance
yeah.
and music. I wish you all the very best for all your future projects. Thank you for coming,
Avni, I
Somdatta.
wish you all the best. Thank you for getting stories of all the women out on screen. You are doing an amazing job, and we need people like you in the community to do it. So, thank you.